When was the last time a purchase solved a problem in your life rather than just creating a temporary distraction? Think about that for a moment. Think about the last package that arrived at your door, the last notification from your banking app signaling a deduction, the last time you swiped a card and felt that fleeting surge of dopamine. Now, fast forward to today. Where is that item? Is it sitting in a corner covered in dust? Is it in a landfill? Or is it broken, already forgotten, replaced by the next shiny object that promised to make you happier, cooler, or more complete? We live in an era defined by accumulation. We are told from the moment we wake up until we scroll ourselves to sleep that we are lacking. You are told you need a better phone to be connected, a better car to be successful, a better outfit to be respected. But I am here to tell you that the path to true wealth, true freedom, and true peace of mind does not lie in what you add to your life, but in what you have the courage to leave on the shelf. This talk is not about deprivation. It is not about living a life of scarcity or denying yourself the joys of existence. It is about the radical act of prioritization. It is about understanding that every dollar you spend is a unit of your life energy that you have traded for it. When you stop buying unnecessary things, you are not losing money. You are buying back your time, your options, and your future. To understand why we must stop, we must first understand why we start. Why is it so hard to put the credit card down? The answer lies in the psychology of modern marketing. Corporations spend billions of dollars not just to sell you products, but to sell you feelings. They do not sell a drill. They sell the hole in the wall and the picture of the happy family hanging there. They do not sell a luxury watch. They sell status and belonging. We are biologically wired to seek rewards. When we buy something new, our brains release dopamine, the chemical of desire and satisfaction. But here is the trap. That chemical spike is temporary. It fades quickly, often before the packaging is even thrown away. This leaves us with a void, a sense that the purchase didn't quite fix what was broken, so we go out and buy something else to fill the gap. This is the hedonic treadmill. You run faster, you buy more, but your level of happiness stays exactly the same. Breaking this cycle requires a shift in perspective. You must begin to view your money not as a tool for consumption, but as a tool for construction. Every dollar is a brick. You can use those bricks to build a wall of clutter that traps you in a cycle of working to pay for things you don't need. Or you can use those bricks to build a foundation of security that allows you to walk through life with your head held high. So how do we make this shift? How do we manage our money well without succumbing to the siren song of consumerism? It begins with awareness. The first educational step is to calculate the true cost of an item. We usually look at the price tag. A laptop costs $1,000. A pair of shoes costs $200. But that is not the cost. The cost is your life energy. Calculate your hourly wage. Take your monthly income and divide it by the number of hours you actually work, including commute time and time spent decompressing from work stress. Let's say your true hourly rate is $25. That $200 pair of shoes did not cost $200. It cost 8 hours of your life. It cost you 1 full day of sitting in an office, dealing with emails, and missing out on time with your family. When you view purchases through the lens of time, unnecessary things suddenly become very expensive. You begin to ask yourself, is this item worth 8 hours of my life? Often the answer is a resounding no. Once you have shifted your mindset, you need practical strategies. Willpower is a finite resource. You cannot rely on it alone. You need systems. The first system is the implementation of a waiting period. Impulse buying is the enemy of wealth. When you see something you want, institute a mandatory waiting period. For small items, wait 24 hours. For large items, wait 30 days. Write the item down on a list and walk away. 90% of the time, the urge will pass. You will realize that the desire was emotional, not logical. You weren't buying the item. You were trying to buy a mood. By the time the 30 days are up, the mood has shifted and your money remains safely in your pocket. The second strategy is to audit your environment. Look at your digital life. How many marketing emails are in your inbox? How many shopping apps are on your phone? These are not neutral tools. They are designed to trigger you. Unsubscribe. Delete the apps. Remove the saved credit card information from your browser. Make it difficult to spend money. Friction is your friend. If you have to get up, find your wallet, and type in the numbers manually, you give your rational brain time to catch up with your emotional brain. Curate your feed to show you financial independence, minimalism, and investment growth rather than hauls, unboxings, and luxury lifestyles. What you feed your mind determines how you treat your wallet. Thirdly, adopt the one-in, one-out rule. This is particularly effective for physical goods like clothing, gadgets, or home decor. If you buy a new shirt, an old one must be donated or discarded. If you buy a new appliance, the old one must go. This creates a natural limit on accumulation. It forces you to consider if the new item is truly valuable enough to displace an existing one. It keeps your space clear and your mind focused on quality over quantity. It teaches you to maintain what you have rather than constantly replacing it. There is a profound dignity in caring for your possessions, in repairing a shoe instead of tossing it, in updating a phone only when the battery truly fails rather than when the new model is announced. This mindset shifts you from a consumer to a steward. Now let's talk about what you do with the money you save. This is the most motivating part of the journey. When you stop buying unnecessary things, you create a surplus. If you do not direct this surplus, it will quietly disappear into lifestyle inflation. You must give every dollar a job. Start with an emergency fund. This is your peace of mind account. It should cover 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. Knowing that you can survive a job loss, a medical emergency, or a car breakdown without going into debt changes your entire relationship with stress. You sleep better, you walk lighter. Once that foundation is laid, you move to investing. This is where the magic of compound interest comes in. Money saved from unnecessary purchases is not just saved, it is seeded. When you invest that money, it begins to earn its own money. Over 20 or 30 years, the money you didn't spend on coffee, fast fashion, or upgraded electronics can grow into a substantial sum. That money becomes your freedom fund. It becomes the down payment on a home, the capital to start a business, or the nest egg that allows you to retire early. When you buy an unnecessary trinket today, you are not just spending $20. You are spending the future value of that $20. You are spending the hundreds of dollars it could have become. Do not trade your future freedom for present-day clutter. There is also a deeper, more philosophical benefit to stopping the cycle of unnecessary buying. It declutters your mind. Physical clutter creates mental clutter. Every object you own demands a fraction of your attention. It needs to be cleaned, organized, stored, insured, and eventually disposed of. When you reduce your possessions to only what is useful and beautiful to you, you create space for creativity, for relationships, and for experiences. Experiences, unlike things, do not gather dust. A trip with friends, a lesson in a new skill, a meal shared with family, these things become part of your identity. They appreciate in value over time as memories. Shifting your spending from things to experiences is a hallmark of financial wisdom. It satisfies the human need for novelty and connection without the burden of ownership. We must also address the social pressure. It is hard to stop buying when everyone around you is consuming. You may feel left out if you don't have the latest gadget or the trendiest car. But remember, you are not competing with them. You are competing with your past self. True status is not showing off what you bought. It is showing off what you own. True wealth is invisible. It is the money you don't see because it is working for you in an investment account. It is the lack of credit card debt. It is the ability to say no to a job you hate because you have savings. People who are deeply in debt trying to look rich are prisoners. People who live below their means to build security are free. Which prison do you want to live in? Consider the impact on the world too. We live on a planet with finite resources. The production of unnecessary goods consumes water, energy, and raw materials, and the disposal of them clogs our landfills. By choosing to buy less, you are voting for a more sustainable future. You are reducing your carbon footprint. There is a moral satisfaction in knowing that your financial discipline contributes to the health of the planet. You are not just saving money, you are saving resources. This adds a layer of purpose to your frugality. It is no longer just about you, it is about your legacy. Let's get specific about the how. Start with a budget. A budget is not a restriction. It is a plan for your money. Use the 50-30-20 rule as a guideline. 50% of your income goes to needs, rent, food, utilities. 30% goes to wants, entertainment, dining out, hobbies. 20% goes to savings and debt repayment. If you find yourself overspending in the wants category, that is where you cut. Identify the leaks. Is it the daily subscription you don't watch? Is it the takeout food on busy Tuesdays? Track your spending for 1 month. You will be shocked at where the money goes. Awareness is the first step to control. Another powerful tactic is to practice gratitude for what you already have.